sign-in table over here. If you'll sign in, we'll keep you abreast of what's happening next. We have a place here where we're trying to get everybody to put a note as to why they want to save Bernheim. You're going to write your note on a post-it note and stick it to our banner so we can carry it on our march. If you haven't done that, please do. Simple post-it note right over here. Thank you. And if you are a young person, there's some activities at a table over here as well. And right before the rally ends, our street theater piece at LG&E, and if you would like to be a part of that, there'll be that opportunity as well. So, we're going to, as we go along today, teach some chants, and Amy is going to help you do that.
Let's do it. It's super easy. I say people, you say power. People, people. I say people, you say power. People, people. I say people, you say power. People, people. I say people, you say power. People, people.
Thank you all. So we're going to have our first couple of speakers up first, providing some context of why we're here today, are some special guests from the world. Taking workshops, and I suspect to become a lot more interesting over the last few months. That's our issue. After 90 years of connecting people in nature, Bernheim is facing two threats. One is a proposed LG&E natural gas pipeline that they want to push right through some beautiful conservation lands, and a wildlife corridor that we've been trying to form to the north, so that populations of wildlife can survive and be genetically strong for years and decades and centuries ahead. And that's why that pipeline, although it's one small slice by their accounting, is huge. If you cut an organism in half, you don't expect each half to function, and half no longer functions the way it was supposed to. And so we have to fight that slice across Bernheim. The other one is a highway study. And that highway study essentially is proposing a connector from 65 to 71. Another Gene Snyder freeway. Not only will several of those study routes potentially take Bernheim's land, and again, just like the LG&E pipeline, legal protections on that land would be violated by both of these. In the case of LG&E, it would be the first conservation easement they have ever broken as a company. A dangerous precedent. But that's not just a dangerous precedent for us, it's a dangerous precedent for every conservation land in this state and every conservation land in the United States. Because when one conservation easement falls, it makes every other one. The highway would, a pipeline cuts bad enough. But imagine a Gene Snyder freeway across 5 counties. We're not talking Bernheim, we're talking about farmlands and communities We're talking about infrastructure that's going to serve the carbon footprint for the next 40, 50, 100 years. We don't need that. We need to be smarter than that. Kentucky is smarter than that. We want our future to be brighter than that. So these threats are your opportunity to say, we stand for nature, we stand for trees, we stand for clean air, we stand for clean water, we stand for a bright, vibrant future for our children and their children. So, you know, because we think LG&E, the employees, we want to invite them out to Bernheim. Yeah. We have a big, wonderful fall celebration coming up in October called Color Fest. Yeah. And so we're going to offer free admission to every LG&E employee for that weekend. So Bernheim has been celebrating 90 years. We expect to be here for 900 more. Yeah. These two threads are cuts, they're slices. And you've heard that old saying, a slow death by 1,000 cuts. Expect these cuts to occur. You have the power with your voices, with your pens, and today with your feet to defeat these two challenges. So we're looking forward in just a little bit to march down to LG&E so that we can let them hear all of our voices united. Thank you, everybody.
Got the power. What kind of power? Forest power. Who's got the power? We've got the power. What kind of power? Forest power. Who's got the power? We've got the power. What kind of power? Forest power. Who's got the power? We've got the power. What kind of power? Forest power.
Thank you all for being here. I'm Andrew Berry. I'm the Director of Conservation on Forest. It's a pleasure to be here in front of you today, and I cannot tell you all how much Bernheim appreciates all of the support that we have gotten from the local community. Not just the greater Louisville area, but really nationwide, people from all walks of life, and even international support. People have been voicing their concerns and telling us how important Bernheim is for our communities, to be a great place to live and work and raise a family. How important Bernheim is for wildlife habitat, and how important Bernheim is as we move forward in this century, facing challenges from climate change, from species extinction, from loss of habitat. And we all know our forests are under threat from Amazon to Appalachia. We've seen the reports. Our bird species are declining by 30% in the last 3 decades. Places like Bernheim are critically important for offsetting and for providing clean air, clean water, great places to live and wildlife habitat for future generations of these two threats, the pipeline and the interstate, is that it has brought solidarity to the people of greater Louisville who love Bernheim, who recognize the importance of nature, and who are willing to fight to protect it. And what we have to do is we've got to let LG&E and the highway planners know that when Bernheim is not fighting this battle, that you all will be, right? And we got to let them know. And those of you who come the path through Bernheim, we will fight the pipeline, we will fight the interstate, and we will fight every threat that comes our way, now and in the future. So as Mark said, we've got to use our voices. You know, there are so many things to be passionate about these days. There are so many topics to speak out on. And so if it's not the Bernheim threats, speak out on something else that matters. You know, this is an opportunity for us to act locally on what is in saying that the loss of our natural lands and the loss of our forests cannot be tolerated anymore. So we've got to use our voices, speak out and be heard on this issue. If you can't speak, then write. The pen is mightier than the sword. Write a message, tell somebody about it. And then today, we're using our feet to march and show solidarity with Bernheim and solidarity with nature. It's really a beautiful thing. There is so much that's going on in this world today. And the earth itself has no voice. The earth cannot speak. Bernheim is a place. Bernheim is an idea. Bernheim does not stop at the boundaries of our property. It extends throughout the communities. And it's up to all of you to speak for Bernheim. We've got to speak for the trees. We've got to speak for the snails. We've got to speak for the children and for the future generations who do not have a say. We're going to fight for Bernheim. We're going to fight for conservation lands that are threatened throughout the world. And we're going to fight for the people of the greater Louisville community and make this a better place to live and raise your family. Thank you all. Let's do it together. Burn long, burn strong, burn hard.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Andrew. Humans on an unhealthy planet. Humans need time and natural spaces to be whole, to be truly and fully human. Over the last decade, we've developed a new depth of understanding around the importance of children having access to the natural world, access to play in natural spaces, and how that positively impacts our health, brain development, and our sense of connection. This is all so important, and it's something that Bernheim provides on a regular basis. So our next speaker is a concerned parent and the executive director at the Play Cousins Collective, and she's going to talk a little bit about that. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Williams.
I'm a little short. All right, thank you all. So when we talk about the theft of land and broken promises, we have to recognize the indigenous place of safety and of freedom for my family and my friends, for my child. When I say I go, I ask that you listen and return with Amen. I go, Amen. I go, Amen. This is the African tradition of call and response. It is also a phenomenon we find in nature, in a bird song, in evolution, and among indigenous people all over the earth. And here too, you have a call. Call it whatever we're calling it today, sectioning up the earth with imaginary lines and its people into imaginary races in order to profit, all under the false pretense of a moral imperative, land underused, religion, racial inferiority, broken window policing, sexism, homophobia, toxic masculinity, cutting away at the feminine, the gentle, the connected, forcing intimacy into a product used to consume the fragile, turning human partners into models of power, destroying the village, and ensuring that the cognitive dissonance that occurs when our men note the violence in the ways that they inflict them on their families and the closest to them, it ensures that they bottle that up by the idea that they're meant to be stoic and emotionless, not connected and responsive. It's all power. It's power in the hands of white families who have held it for centuries. And now we see that the earth is burning, and they too hear a call. Will you answer it if the lead speaker is not like you? If they are black, if they are woman, trans or gay, if they are indigenous, undocumented, or some other intersection of experiences. If they are children, the most vulnerable among us, it is them who suffer first. It is them who suffer most. Will you answer the incarcerated, the detained, the forgotten, the drowning? Will you notice that the world is screaming out in a call for your help? Or will you turn the boats away and build another coffee shop and pretend that it is only a highway? This is not a call out. This is a call in. Will you begin to call too? Don't call to me. Don't try to influence black and brown people with your call. We are in the thick of it already. Soon enough, there will be nowhere to take mission trips. No small black children to smile at the camera and make you feel better. No. Return the land, information, and resources. Respect our sovereignty. Give us space, safety, information, and raw materials to thrive. Respond to the indigenous practice. That's why you're here today. Respect our homeland. We don't need another pipeline, a new highway, a new loop. We need a call and response. We need a community, a village. First, turn to the closest people to you. Call them in, call them home. I am not a product. This earth is not a product. Your work, your body, your heart, you are not a product. The call has been made. We need a response today. I go. Amen. I go. Amen. Ashe.
Thank you, Kristen Williams.
How many of you all have memories as a child of going to, how many of you are your grandchildren to Bernheim? And don't your children and grandchildren deserve that same ability to go to a protected space? So let me ask you, when our forest is under attack, what do? We stand up and we fight back. When our forest is under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. When our forest is under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. When our forest is under attack, what do? Stand up, back.
Poet Mary Oliver had a deep love of the natural world. One of her simplest poems went this way: instructions for living a life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. So I want to ask you, what is it that you love about Bernheim? And can you just shout it out to me? Tell me something you love about Bernheim, and let's fill this space with a list. Anybody? Was that the quiet? Keep going. Yes. Absolutely. All of this and more, right? There's so much to love about Bernheim. And so in the name of all that's been mentioned here today, in the name of poet Mary Oliver, in the name of activists like Julia Butterfly Hill, like Greta, and like our own Fernanda, in the name of bats, snails, white-tailed deer, wild turkey, tiny cricket frogs, and striking assassin beetles, in the name of the oak, the magnolia, and ginkgo, in the name of beach, all contribute to, in the name of Bernheim, in the name of our children, we must stop this madness. Our next speaker is Maggie Kampf. Maggie is a senior at Presentation Academy, where she serves as her school's Y Club president. She also participates in the Kentucky Youth YMCA program. Let's see what she has to share with us today.
Ever since I was a kid, I've loved seeing the trees. The way the sun shines through the leaves, dotting light on the bright green grass in front of me. Nothing rivals the indescribable smell of the trees, grass, flowers, and dirt at my feet. I loved seeing the trees, and still love seeing them now. Bernheim is a place like no other in our state. What happens if we let it be destroyed? Someone may never see the sun shine through the branches. They won't smell the trees like we can. Cut away just like the trees will be. 90 years of beauty lost without the possibility of return. We're less environmentally stable and more catered towards money. But what does money matter if we don't have a planet to live on? Because That would be the ultimate effect on our community. More CO2 in the atmosphere. More CO2 that those beautiful natural problem solvers we call trees can absorb. Trees help alleviate the smallest amount of CO2 from the atmosphere, but anything helps in this hellish reality we've dug ourselves into. That's right! Digging ourselves a pipeline in Bernheim would be digging ourselves into yet another hellish reality that we can't escape. I wish I didn't have to be here today. I wish no one was even considering harming our ecosystem. I wish we, as active citizens, didn't have to be here fighting for what we believe in, because people only listen when we come together. I wish that Bernheim wasn't in danger, but it is. And here I am, the 17-year-old girl who's been told she can do it. And here we all are, standing united so that the trees don't fall. I thought Kentucky's motto was, united we stand, divided we fall. I'm here speaking on this today, not because I want to be, but because I have to be. Allowing LG&E to move forward with this project would be allowing a great injustice to occur. Think about what we would lose as the people of this city, as citizens of this state. Beauty, history, a place to go and relax, a place to take the children, an escape from the world. Gone. Replaced with a pipeline and an interstate ramp. Is it worth it, LG&E? No! Are you willing to annihilate part of our sublime state? No. Bernheim needs to be saved, not only for you and me, but for the next generation. The generations who can't stand here and tell us why they want Bernheim to be saved. The generations in the past who enjoyed Bernheim and wanted their posterity to enjoy the experience.
No pipeline, no highway. Not ever, not today. No pipeline, no highway. Not ever, not today. No pipeline, no highway. Not ever, not today.
Folks, I need a little help from you here. Save Bernheim Forest because, and we need to cover it with messages from all of you. We've only got a few on there. If you can, as this rally wraps up, come over here and put something on this poster note that addresses why you love Bernheim. It would really be appreciated. Come on up. So maybe you've seen some coverage recently of Greta Thunberg. Yes? And maybe you saw a video with George Monbiot, who said, and this is such an amazing statement from George, there is a machine that sucks carbon out of the air, costs very little, and builds itself. It's called a tree. That sounds like exactly what we need, isn't it? Trees. They go on to say we need to stop funding things that destroy nature and pay for things that help it. And Greta says it's that simple. Protect, restore, fund. And it really is that simple. So let's really Sam Avery. Sam has written several books around environmental issues, including The Pipeline and the Paradigm, Keystone XL, tar sands, and the battle to defuse the carbon bomb. Sam was one of about a dozen of us from the Louisville area who was arrested at the White House in 2011 in peaceful civil disobedience to stop that tar sands pipeline. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Avery.
Thank you, Mark. I'm here to say, but I'm not just here for Bernheim. Bernheim is a symbol. It's a microcosm. It stands for the natural world as a whole. And I'm here today to save the natural world as a whole. Are you with me on that? And that pipeline they want to put through Bernheim. I'm against it, but I'm not just against that pipeline. That pipeline is a symbol. It stands for fossil fuel infrastructure. Fossil fuel infrastructure. All of it. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But first, before I tell you why, I want to play a number game. Are you ready for some numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say them and you're going to shout them back. Are you ready?
Yes.
91. 40.
40.
6,000.
6,000.
Okay, we're going to do it again. 91. 40. 6,000.
6,000.
91 scientists from 40 countries analyzed over 6,000 studies of the Earth's climate. Now, if you want to know what's going to happen to the Earth's climate, you could go talk to General Motors, or Peabody Coal, or Exxon Mobil, or Louisville Gas and Electric and see what they had to say. Or you could talk to how many scientists?
91.
From how many countries?
40.
Who studied how many scientific studies?
6,000.
And you know what they had to say? I'm not going to tell you yet. I got some more numbers for you first. Are you ready?
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
30 years.
30 years.
50 years.
50 years.
Again, 10 years.
10 years.
30 years.
30 years.
50 years.
50 years.
Those scientists said that we had to stop burning half of the fossil fuels we're burning now in how many years?
10 years.
And we had to stop burning all fossil fuels in how many years? No more gasoline.
Yeah.
No more natural gas to heat your house. No more coal for electricity. 30 years. That's the world we're moving into. Think about it. And then, here comes Louisville Gas and Electric. They want to build a fossil fuel pipeline through Bernheim Forest, which will last how many years? 50 years. Does that make sense? After the polar ice caps have melted and there are hurricanes spinning up the East Coast every other day, Louisville Gas and Electric is still going to be pumping fossil fuel into Bullitt County. Does that make sense? I don't think so. Do we need to tell LG&E what we think? You want to go over there now? You want to march there now? Well, let's go then!
Well, just hold on a second, though. We're going to do a couple of things. We have our street theater piece we're going to present down at LG&E. We still need some folks to wear some hats and pieces for that. If you'd like to do that, it's happening right over here. We also would love to get one more chance to get your name or your information, your what I love about Bernheim on this banner. So if you haven't filled out one of these Post-it notes, please do so we can fill this. So we're just going to take a couple minutes to gather up here and then we're going to march. So let me talk about that just a little bit. So our march route is going to be to cross Jefferson Street at 5th. We're going to go north 2 blocks and turn right, or that could be called east, onto Main Street to LG&E. While we do that, we're going to ask you to follow our peacekeepers, please. They're the people in the colorful vests. Some of them have their hands out there. They are here to protect us. Please do follow their guidance. We are asking that you stay on the sidewalks, please, and that you obey the traffic signals. Can we do that? Thank you. We also want to stay together. Sometimes we do these marches and we start stretching out. Let's work hard to stay as a whole group. So if we get cut in half by a crossing signal, let's wait for the rest of the folks to catch up with us before we proceed. Can we do that? So in just a minute here, we're going to get started and we're going to be heading out this way. Amy's going to lead us with some chants, so we'll chant our way down. We'll have some drumming. We're going to make a lot of noise, aren't we? Because we love Bernheim, yes? Hold on just a minute and we'll get started.
Forest rally, Jefferson Square. About to go on
So
a
we're going
march.
to start gathering over here to head out posting live. Thank you, Forward Radio.
Would you want to drink of water?
I'm always a little like not sure.
I didn't touch that one.
Folks, if you see Amy over here with the megaphone, we're going to start gathering. She's going to lead us down the road here. If you want to head towards Amy, we'll start marching in just...
Can you get your sign on camera? That's awesome.
When our forest is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When our forest is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When our forest is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. No pipeline, no highway, not ever, not today. No pipeline, no highway, not ever, not today. No pipeline, no highway, not ever, not ever, not today. Community and I, we're gonna save Bernheim. My community and I, we're gonna save Bernheim. My community and I, we're gonna save Bernheim. Save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim. Y'all ready to march? Y'all ready to stand up for the forest? Ready to speak for the trees? If you love Bernheim, let me hear you scream. pipeline. We love Bernheim. Stop the 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 pipeline. Who's got the power? We've got the power. What kind of power? People's power. Who's got the power? We've got the power. What kind of power? People's power. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People's power. Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People's power. People's power. Forest power. Forest power. Forest power. Forest power. Forest power. Power to the forest. 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 Ever not today. No pipeline, no highway. Not ever, 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 not today. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. 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 Stop the pipeline. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. Stop the pipeline. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. Stop the pipeline. Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. 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 Power to the forest. Power to the forest. Bernheim, stop the pipeline. We need 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 Bernheim, stop Stop the pipeline! Stop the pipeline! Stop the pipeline! For future generations, we're gonna save Bernheim.
all mixed up with you there. I was trying to stay out of your way.
Sorry, no, you're good.
We need to go over there. She wants it this ready. Like this. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. 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 We love Bernheim. We love Bernheim. Stop the pipeline. 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 We're gonna save Bernheim, my community and I. We're gonna save Bernheim, my community and I. We're gonna save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim. Because the trees help us breathe. We're gonna save Bernheim. Because the trees help us breathe. We're gonna save Bernheim. Because the trees help us breathe. We're gonna save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim. For future generations, we're gonna save Bernheim. For future generations, we're gonna save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim, save Bernheim. Thank you all so much for being here today.
All you beautiful people, in the midst of this loud city sound, we ask you to move to a still, quiet place in your mind, a story listening space. And we ask you to embody tree. Feel as tree. Think as tree. Live as tree. Shut out the city noise if you can't imagine the soft sounds you hear as tree, rooted in a forest of trees, rooted together, sharing nutrients, water, and air, and all the living community around you. A whole community forest ecosystem. Now, breathe in CO2 with higher oxygen perpetuity for the people of Kentucky by a visionary gifter. Bernheim Forest, where beautiful winged ones rest in your branches. Owl, hawk, blue jay, and endangered bat. Bernheim, raccoon, and all manner of wildlife who traverse your corridors in harmony with the two-legged ones who walk in your shade to find rest, peace, beauty, and good health. Bernheim Forest, where billions of gallons of water are cleansed and protected to support life, where frogs sing and endangered snails creep while the two-legged play with giants. Bernheim Forest, where the ancient ones lie in the rock of past seas, where researchers come to study and children come in school buses to learn. Bernheim, this one whole, sacred, and protected forest community. Open your eyes. Wake up. What is the sound I hear coming near? What is the sound I hear coming near? Sister, trees crashing down. Is it a windstorm? No, it's harsh and loud. What's happening? It's coming to me. The ancient earth is being broken and torn and cut from my roots. I hear my roots calling as my branches fall to the ground. Run, my bow-legged and crawling friends, run! Fly, my winged friends! Your homes are being torn apart. Oh, it marches on, crashing through our beautiful clear stream, stirring the water into a dark and murky mess. Hop away, frog, as fast as you can. You must leave your tadpoles behind. Goodbye, all my uprooted flora and fauna friends who graced my feet so lovingly. We are dying. We are dying. Who are these marauders? The letters on these two-legged ones say L-G-E. 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 Why? Please tell us why this has to be. Does it have to be? No! Now it's been some very quiet time since the cutting of the earth and tree and the laying in of the dead snake. Only far off sound of cricket and bird are heard and no sound of frog. On the scarred ground, a strange colored material has been put down by the two-legged ones. A few clumps of grass grow from it, cut from my roots. I slowly wither and I'm dying of thirst. But today there's a new heavy it's coming to consume me, releasing all my stored carbon to further heat the earth. Will it spread across this wide, dead expanse to set the still standing ones ablaze? I fear for the forest that's left and all the beings of this earth. The two-legged ones know not that they are connected to the life that was here. Woe to them. But can there be hope? Yes! Can there be hope? Yes! Will they learn in time? Yes! I hear a crowd of two-legged ones getting louder. Are they rising up against this destruction and disruption? Yes! Will they stop this pipeline? Yes! Will they stop this pipeline? Yes!
pipeline.
We love Bernheim.
Stop the 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 pipeline.
We love Bernheim. We love Bernheim. Bernheim.
Stop the pipeline.
My community and I, we're gonna save Bernheim. My community and I, we're gonna save Bernheim. My community and I,
We're gonna save Bernheim.
save Bernheim.
Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim.
My community and I,
We're gonna serve Bernheim. Oh, brother.
my community and I,
We're gonna save Bernheim.
my community and I,
We're gonna save Bernheim.
save
Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim.
for future generations.
We're gonna save Bernheim.
For future generations.
We're gonna save Bernheim. Oh, brother.
Future generations.
We're gonna save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim.
For all the plants and wildlife.
We're gonna save Bernheim.
For all the plants and wildlife.
We're gonna save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim.
Because the trees help us breathe.
We're gonna save Bernheim.
Because the trees help us breathe.
We're gonna save Bernheim.
Because the trees help us breathe.
We're gonna save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim.
My community and I.
We're gonna save Bernheim.
My community and I.
We're gonna save Bernheim.
My community and I.
We're gonna save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim. Save Bernheim.
Save Bernheim.
Save Bernheim.
Save Bernheim.
Save Bernheim. Save We love Bernheim.
Stop the pipeline.
Stop your dumb pipeline.
Can you read it?
Everyone, I want to thank you on behalf of Bernheim, on behalf of trees, birds, snails, the habitat itself, all those things are happy boys. And most of all, I want to thank you for future generations, because together we can stop this pipeline, we can stop the highway, and we can save this world all together. Thank you, everyone.
They can look out the window. Maybe they can read it. Who knows? They can see it no
Grandma, we're gonna be on the news.
joining me from the rally to save Bernheim Forest. Bernheim's something really special to me. Been there a lot of times, hiking all the trails. It's just a wonderful place. It'd be really sad if it wasn't there in the future for me to go, everyone else to enjoy. Shame on you, LG&E, for doing this. Shame on this interstate connector. We're going to fight this to the last, and I'm going to keep covering this story as long as it keeps going. So share this out, get the information out, sign the petition. I believe it's on the Bernheim website. Quick programming note, October 3rd, 6 o'clock, it's a Thursday, I believe. I will have on Michael Cummings. He's running for commissioner in Bowling Green, so check that out. That's all I got for you today. On that note, always think critically.